blob architecture, blobism, blobismus, and finally, blobitecture. These terms are all actually describing the same thing, buildings that look like this. But what exactly does this term mean? What is blobitecture? The story behind it is actually very interesting. And this term was actually created as an insult. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Welcome to Blessed Dark, and today on this channel we are looking at blobitecture. Before we look at some examples and understand what truly can be called blobitecture, let's look at where the term comes from.
The blob. Terror has no shape.
So blobitecture basically refers to buildings that have an organic amoeba-shaped form. To understand the origin of this term, we first need to meet the person who was key in defining it. We are meeting architect Greg Lynn. Greg Lynn, born in 1964, is an American architect, founder and owner of Greg Lynn Form Office, and a professor at the UCLA School of Arts and Architecture. In 1998, he published a book titled Folds, Bodies and Blobs, Collected Essays. One particular essay in this book is actually a republication of an article he had previously written called Blobs, or Why Tectonics is Square and Typology is Groovy. In this article, he talked about what blobs are and how they can be used in architecture. He explains how the term blob is actually an acronym, basically a binary large object. And in this text is where he first used the term blob architecture. But even though Greg coined the term blob architecture, the term blobitecture has a different origin altogether. In the year 2002, American author William Safire published a column in the New York Times Magazine titled Defenestration. The article is basically about how architects today use too many fancy words, too much jargon. It's actually a very witty article and you can find the link to it in the description below. Anyway, in this article, we see the term blobitecture for the first time in print. And when he used this term, he meant it as a derogatory one. He was making the point that architectural jargon has taken a word like blob architecture and converted it to blobitecture. Basically, he was throwing some serious shade at the words architects use.
Oh no, he didn't.
Like calling the central corridor of a building its spine and using the word fenestration instead of windows. This is also why the title is actually called Defenestration. It's all actually quite clever.
I can see that.
Any questions from the group?
Anyway, coming back to blobitecture. Even though this term was thrown around as an insult, it has now stuck. Blobitecture is a thing and it is around us. So let's actually look at what this means and some of the famous examples of it. So in my research of the term, I actually came across two different definitions of what qualifies as blobitecture. The first definition is that any amoeba-like, freeform or organic and curvy structures can be defined as blobitecture. Basically, this definition focuses on the form of the building. And if that is true, we have a lot of examples in our history that we can call blobitecture. From Walking Cities by Archigram to the Geodesic Dome by Buckminster Fuller, to even the works of Antoni Gaudi. If this definition is taken, we have always had a lot of blobitecture all around us. A popular example of this is the Flintstone House by William Nicholson. But a lot of people argue that this definition that solely focuses on the form of the building is actually incorrect. So the second definition of blobitecture focuses on the technology with which the form was achieved. In this definition, you need to use digital tools or computer-aided design to achieve these blob-like forms. And because of this definition, the buildings considered blobitecture are restricted to the ones that came about after the widespread adoption of computers in architecture. So basically here we have shifted our focus from the form of the building to how it was achieved. And there are some fantastic examples of this all over the world. Some sources say that the very first blobitecture building was the Freshwater Pavilion in Netherlands, built by Lars Spuybroek and Kaas Oosterhuis. This pavilion has a fully computer-based shape manufactured with computer-aided tools and an electronic interactive interior where sound and light can be transformed by the visitor. Since it was completely conceived through digital means, this qualifies as the first blobitecture example in the world. And from that point on, we see more and more architects experiment with blobs in their design. A famous example is the Sage Gateshead building in the UK, designed by Foster Plus Partners. Foster and his colleagues had a unique idea in mind for this concert venue and space for musical education. Found in northeast England, this curved glass and stainless steel center was thoughtfully designed to provide the best possible acoustics in mind, as it encompasses 3 performance spaces, all surrounded with this organic exoskeleton. Another popular example is the Selfridges building in the UK. Designed by the firm Future Systems, this is a department store in Birmingham. Clad in 15,000 anodized aluminium discs mounted on striking blue background, the curved facade is quite iconic and has won many design awards over the years. And of course, let's talk about the most iconic piece of blobitecture in the world today, Kunsthaus Graz in Austria. This building, designed by Spacelab Cook Fournier as a partnership between Colin Fournier and Sir Peter Cook, it was conceived as the European Capital of Culture events in 2003. Employing brand new materials and manufacturing techniques, this building is often referred to as an alien in its context. Now, you might also be tempted to put the Guggenheim Museum in Bilbao and the Experience Music Project, both built by Frank Gehry, into the definition of blobitecture as well. But that will not be completely accurate. These projects actually started from physical models and then gravitated towards digital design. Although a project that perfectly fits the definition is the Ahmedabad Gufa by B.V. Doshi. This project was one of the most experimental ones by B.V. Doshi and was created using digital means, thus qualifying it to be called blobitecture. So, depending on what definition you pick, blobitecture has either been all around us all this time or has come into the world very recently. I personally prefer the definition that focuses on the form, as it makes the subject much more interesting and so much more wide. But what are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments below. Also, comment below any building that would fit into the definition of blobitecture. And that was it, you guys. That was my video on blobitecture. Now, before I let you go, let me tell you about Patreon. Hey, so my name is Rishabh and I hope you like all the content that I create on YouTube. I not only create interesting videos like this one, I create documentaries on architects and even connect with designers all over the world so that we can together understand and dissect their journeys and get advice from them. Now, if you like all the content that I create here, you can actually support me via Patreon. For just as little as $2 a month, you can help me create more content like this and connect with more and more professionals around the world. So do consider supporting the Blessed Dark platform. You can find the link in the description below. And yes, there is an Indian alternative available as well. Anyway, that was the video. Let me know how you found it in the description below. Also, while you're there, do give it a thumbs up and do share this video. Also, do subscribe to Blessed Dark. I will see you guys very soon with more such content. Until then, bye-bye.